I got to say something to Carmelo Anthony, all right? First of all, Carmelo, you have a superstar in the WNBA. You have a superstar that has brought $1 billion to the game of the WNBA. And you have a superstar that just got a $4 million contract, first time in WNBA history when it comes to shoe deals. And now you have got girls like Reese, having her own hamburger. She's all over these, she's over the GQ magazine. She's all over the place. Why? Because of Caitlin Clark. Now, I'm not taking shots at Juju, okay? I think Juju is a nice player. She's special. She's not Caitlin Clark. Okay, I'm speaking the truth here. When you see what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA, Juju is going to be a star because of Caitlin Clark. I'm just speaking the truth. Caitlin Clark has brought the WNBA right to the forefront. Now, when you look, I have a Caitlin Clark jersey. I bought it. I told you, Goody, I was going to buy one. Why?
You got it?
I got it. I'll wear it. I wore it on the show. Well, I can't wear it on the show.
How about you put it on right now and take that white beater off?
Listen, because it doesn't show up on here because it's yellow and it has like a bad tint to it. But it's a beautiful jersey, by the way.
The Guardians jerseys never have that problem.
Shut up, Speedy. Honest to God, you look at the facts here. Juju is a special player, but Carmelo and everybody else in the WNBA has some hatred for Caitlin Clark. I don't get it. I don't get it. She has done wonders for the WNBA, and she's even going to bring in more fans to those NBA games when she's there. If you hear that Caitlin Clark's going to the game and she's going to be sitting on the sidelines, what do you think people are going to want to do? They're going to want to buy. They're going to want to buy tickets to go and watch the game to see what Caitlin. Yeah, it absolutely does. She changes women basketball, and it opens up opportunities for Juju and Reese and all these other new up-and-coming superstars to have the opportunity to make a tremendous amount of money. It's a trend, and I'm sorry. There's a lot of ex-NBA players. That's not just Carmelo Anthony saying it on his podcast. There are other NBA players like what's his name again, who carried a gun in his locker room, and he got
Gilbert Arenas.
Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas was on his show recently and said that Juju is the greatest women's college basketball player of all time. And I looked at him and I said, "What? What?" I mean, no offense to Juju. If you look at the numbers right now, in the tournament right now for the women's tournament for the Sweet 16. If you look at the numbers, they're a million down right now, and I doubt they're going to reach 18 million people in the championship game. 18.7 million people watched the national championship game. By the way, there were more people watching the national championship game in that series for the WNBA, for the women's than they were of the men's. That tells you how big Caitlin Clark is and how much she draws for women and women's basketball. Everybody wants to be here. You don't think Juju has respect for her? And behind closed doors, I think Reese does too. And Diana Taurasi, for all the things that she said and what she brings to the table, if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark, the WNBA probably would be gone in the next 3 to 4 years. There was no money coming in. They weren't getting TV deals. They weren't getting a new deal. And who's getting the deals now? Who's bringing in the money for them? Caitlin Clark. And by the way, the Heat, the Fever, whatever they call themselves, the Indiana Fever.
Indiana Fever.
The Indiana Fever was the worst team in WNBA basketball that year. I think that year before they had Caitlin Clark, I think they won like 10 games or 9 games.
Yeah, they also the number one pick the year before. They drafted the Aaliyah Boston.
And they still were the worst team in the WNBA. And then they get Caitlin Clark, and then they make the playoffs. And Caitlin Clark was getting more triple-doubles in the second half than any WNBA player ever had. Okay, so what does that tell you about Caitlin Clark? Not only does she have game, she brings in and she puts fannies in the seats. And by the way, when she was playing, when you were going to watch Caitlin Clark, even here in Brooklyn, do you know what the tickets were selling for? $400 a piece. It doesn't matter where you were sitting. Good luck trying to get tickets to see Caitlin Clark. She puts fannies in the seats. So to bring up that Juju Watkins and the WNBA better hope this and better hope that and better do this and better do that, I'm not saying anything. I think Juju's a special player. She's not Caitlin Clark.
I don't think women
recovery of ACLs are at the same level as men. And that's really sad if she can't come back from this, because she's just scratching the surface of the type of player she's going to be. She's a 25. She's already a 25.5 point in her career player. 7 rebounds as a guard, a little bigger guard, 3.5 assists. She's well on her way. Her turnovers were down a turnover and a half from the year before, which is something that Caitlin Clark actually struggled more with in college than she is. We just really hope for the best for her. It's really a shame to see it, even if you're not a huge women's basketball fan. You just want to see greatness and someone trying to get there, and she was certainly on the way. So let's hope she can get back on that path.
Well, especially at this time of the year too. Like
second
it's
round.
like pouring salt in the wound, and it's like you're trying to grind and show what it is. And
I did see something interesting about her before this. So she was watching I think it was the end of the first round. She was watching a game with Jaden Daniels and his mother and hanging out. Again, it seems like they may be something that's brewing or whatever. It was going to be one of those that could have been a couple of the year type of a situation.
Good
Maybe it still will be.
It's good for both.
But it's just sad. Wish
Slap that ass. Slap that ass. I want you to slap
women are 6 to 8 more times likely to tear their ACLs, and once you tear one, you're more likely to tear the other one.
My son's girlfriend did it back to back in a left and the right.
Yep. There you go. That's going to be a
shave the ass, Speedy.
That's going to be something difficult for her to overcome when it comes to the draft.
I don't care, knee or no knee. She's the best player in
100%.
the WNBA. She's going one no matter who's drafting her, because you're going to take a chance with somebody like that. But she's not Caitlin Clark, and I don't know why Carmelo Anthony is opening his mouth. This is the problem when you have a podcast and you have people listening to you. You're going to say whatever you want, and it's shameful that nobody gives Caitlin Clark enough credit for what she's done for the WNBA. It's horrible. I don't get it. What is the hatred for this girl?